Hello and welcome back to this channel. So in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to draw this absolutely cute but super easy flamingos in Adobe Fresco. So let's just get started. Before we begin, if you want to support this channel, you can always buy me a coffee on ko-fi.com. You can find the link to do that in the description box below. So click on Create New, and I'm going to go into Digital and click on Current Screen Size. I have a sketch and a color palette for you guys and also a texture. So make sure you download all those things into your iPad or any device that you're using Fresco on. So once you have downloaded them, you can go ahead and bring them into your artboard. So I'm going to click on my images because I have my sketch in there. So images, photos, and get your sketch in. Click on done. Now I'll click on my levels here and make this as multiply. Done. I'm doing this because I might draw under the sketch, but I want to make sure that I can see the lines and not this white background. Now click on plus and we're going to bring in the texture. I have mine saved in files, so I'm going to go into my images, files, and bring it in. Make sure you use this edges to pull it all the way out. Do not use the side ones because it will stretch your canvas and you don't want that. Once you're done, click on done. Now again, we'll go into levels and make sure this is set to multiply. This is so that we can see the texture no matter where we draw your artwork. And now we're going to draw everything that we want to paint below this texture layer so that the texture is on top of our artwork. Otherwise, the texture won't show up, isn't it? Okay, let's go below the layer. If you don't have an empty layer, go below any layer and click on plus. So I also have a color palette, so let's bring that in. Click on the images, go to your photos and bring in the color palette and click on done. As you can see, there's texture applied. That's because you're under the texture layer. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and hide this color palette layer by pressing on this eye. The reason I'm doing only that is because I would have my colors here under recents. If you don't see this, that means there's a setting which is turned off. You should go into your settings, go to app settings, go into general, and in here you'll see auto create color palette. It should be turned on. So make sure you do that. And then bring in the color palette again and you'll see them under your recents. Now I feel like the sketch layer is too strong. So I'm going to go into my sketch layer, click on my levels here and reduce the opacity so that I can see it, but it's not too strong. Let's start drawing our flamingos now. So I'm going to start off by drawing this one here because I think he's cute. So let's do that. I'll go ahead and choose a nice bright pink for mine. I want him to be pink as well, and this one is slightly orange, so I will choose a pink, but I'll make sure this is set to 100% and this is all the way up and nice and dark. If you want the exact numbers, it's 332, 70 and 100. You can click here and type in whatever number you want so as to get the exact same color as me. For brushes, I'm going to go into pixel brushes here and go into painting and check out a brush called color fill. This is how it looks like because it looks like watercolor. So I'm going to reduce this to maybe about 190 or so. You can use this to go up and down. You can click and hold and type in the number. When I say something like 197, you don't have to keep it at 197. You can keep it around that number. 200 would be fine too. Let's just make it 200. And I'm going to go ahead and color and check it out. Yeah, that looks good. The flow is set as 65. I haven't changed any other setting. That is, these are default settings because I just reset my Fresco recently. So I'm going to go ahead and put a layer, and I see that this is too big for this here. So undo using your 2-finger taps. Reduce this to about 140, 150-ish. And I'm going to go ahead and add a light layer of this. I'm not adding too much pressure, but I will add pressure in certain parts. Like I was adding a little pressure here, but I'm adding a lot of pressure here now. See that? And then I'm going to put this like that, and I'm going to make it a bit lighter and darker. As you can see, I'm not happy with the tail in the sketch, so we're going to fix that. And then I'm going to add a bit more color here, and I feel like, yep, there you go, that's better. And I want to make a feather, a part for feather, by the way. So I'm going to do that nice and round here. Maybe put some extras near the bottom here and then add a bit over here, maybe around the bend of the neck, and then a bit here. If you want, you can go ahead and trim these extra bits using your eraser tool to erase off extra things, but I want my textures to be nice and extra texture in there because I think that's going to look good. So we're going to do the next one. Oh, wait a minute. Undo, because there was that. I want to add a bit over here as well, and click on plus. And now I want this to be a little pinkish, orangish, or whatever you say. So let me do that, and I'll go here and I'll pull this up a little bit, making it slightly pinkish, slightly reddish and a bit more darker, because as you can see, the brush makes everything a little lighter. Let's go ahead and do this one now. So I'm going to go ahead and add, and I think I need a bit tinier, maybe around 120, 130-ish. And we're going to add this one now. And I want to add more color in here and in here as well. You should know that with this brush, when you lift it up, it kind of creates a different effect. So make sure that's what you're looking for. See, it makes that. I don't want it. I want that feather part to be all similar color, like one shade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can add bits here and add a bit more color to the flamingo in general. And I think that should be good. Add bits. Perfect. Now plus, and we want it to be more orangey. I think there's already a color here. So, okay, let's make it orange. Okay, this one is 571 and 100. And I'm going to go ahead and add this orange bits here. Ready, you said? Okay. And there you go. Next step is to add more details to this flamingo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on plus. You can go and do that on each single layer, but I would recommend that you create new layers to add your details so that you have further control over them. Let's go back, and now it's in orange. So I'm going to go ahead and do the orange one. I will go into sketching and choose coal pencil. And as you can see, it's pretty nice. And it's set to 30. I think it should be okay. Flow is at 100 because we want it really dark. And we want to give an outline to this. So make sure you don't put the outline everywhere, and if you feel like your sketch is not visible, it's in the bottom. I'm going to click and hold and bring it all the way to the top so that it's on top, and maybe I'll increase this so that you guys can see where the lines are. And I will choose some empty layer, and I'm going to draw some finer details here. But as you can see, I'm not going to add everything because I feel like then that'll take away the perfect the texture which we got from the watercolor, right? So we're going to add a bit of stuff here, and we'll obviously make the feathers because that's really important. So we're going to make that, and I'm just going to scribble, and I see that it's not dark enough because the previous layer was too dark. So I'll undo the feather part, and I'll go here, oops, and I'll try to make it darker. So you can do down to make it darker, and then yep, that's good. Then I'm going to add a bit like that, and you can continue giving this color, or you can go back to the orange as well. It's totally up to you. Okay, and we'll give some black outlines later on, so don't worry too much about it. So I feel like it'll be better if I come back and do this after I finished making the beaks, because I see that the sketch is overwhelming, but if I turn it off, I can't see the proper shape. So I'm going to turn on the sketch, go on a different layer, create a blank empty layer, and let's choose black. And we're going to use this coal pencil that we have right now, and we're going to do in the beak. And I want the beak, obviously this part has to be proper, like nicely drawn like that. And we're going to go ahead and do that and draw the other part of the beak. And as you can see, I'm not putting too much pressure there. I'm going to draw this, like I don't want it to be strong black lines. The eyes obviously has to be, strong and nice. Maybe put a little bit there. And let's go ahead and draw this one right now. There's the eye, I guess. And now this one, I'm making all the beaks on a single layer because I don't need it on a different layer. And this one doesn't have an eye as well, so give your own eye. Okay, so that's good. And we need to make our legs, so I'm going to click on plus. It's better if it's on a different layer. Let me reduce the sketch layer opacity. As you can see, I didn't start from the top. I don't want it so thick. So if you feel like the lines are very thick and you're not able to control it, go ahead and reduce the size of the brush, and that should help you. Okay, there you go. And I'll click on plus, and now I'm going to add the pink one, more details. Okay, I'll take the pink and I'm going to go ahead and increase this here so that it comes a bit down and it's a bit darker. So like that. And obviously we need to give the feather, so I'm going to make it like that. Oops, don't bend your pencil like this, then it gives this. Okay, and then over here I'm going to make it like that, and you can also give a touch of lines here if you want. It's up to you, but I want to make this a bit nicer. Let's see that. I think it looks good. Let's remove the sketch. Yep, it looks fine to me. And now I'll go into the one more layer here because I want to make it for this one, and I use the same pink, but I'll use the darker one here, this one. And let me try to color it in and see how it looks. And I'm going to give it a different kind. Okay, there you go. It's a bit different than the others. I want to make this indent here like that to show that it's the face. You can also give here because it feels like it's blending with the other flamingo in the back. Let me just undo that again. Now I want to give some highlights with black. That'll make it stand out. So go ahead and choose black. And obviously this part here. Hold on a second. The reason I'm undoing and doing it again and again is because I'm trying to not put a lot of pressure and create these nice strokes. I'll put one here and then maybe one here, probably one here. Let's see. Yep, I'll undo the sketch so that I can see what's happening. I'll go back to the layer with the blacks. One here. Okay, there you go, here as well. And for this one I want to add a bit here and here. Oops, I am having such a hard time today getting those perfect lines, but yeah, I guess it's just one of those days. Here. All right, our flamingos are ready, and now it's time to add some water and the sun in the background. So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottommost layer. That's the image layer here. And I want you to click on plus to create a new layer. We're going to use a colorful brush again. So go to your pixel brushes and you can click on recent and you can see colorful right here. So we're going to use that. And we will use a blue color. You can find it under your color sheet here. So get that blue color that you have. We'll keep the size a little higher, maybe 300, 400-ish, maybe even around 342 or something. And then I want you to go ahead and add some water. I want you to lift your brush up and then add again so that it creates that different shades and stuff. And then you can also go here and bring your color a little bit down so that this is the color that we have. And I want you to add some of that weird color as well. Not weird color, but a different shade of blue as well. It's just to create that. It looks like the ripples or different shades of blue. Now I'll go back to that layer and click plus again. I'm going to choose the yellow that we have, but this yellow seems very, very dark. I don't know. So make sure you go all the way to the top. Let's make sure the brightness is set at 100. And I'm going to pull this up a little bit so that it's 53, 100 and 100. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a nice little sun. I want the sun to touch the water here. That's really important. And I don't want the sun to go beyond all of the flamingos. Okay, so we're going to make it something like this. And I want you to draw it in one go. Like, I don't want you to lift up your pencil and then come back again, because I guess that wouldn't look nice. Okay, and if you feel like the sun is too strong, you can always go to levels here and reduce the layer opacity to make it a little lighter, just like that. And obviously I see that the beaks are getting yellow. So we're going to go ahead and add a bit of white shade to it. So I'm going to click on plus here, as you can see, and I'll go to white, make the brush very small and just color in. You can also go ahead and color in the flamingo if you want that really pink color that you saw. I'll undo that and I'll just color the beak. And you can add some bits and pieces here if you feel, you can add it for the feet as well. This is totally optional, by the way. You don't really have to do it. But I thought it might be nice to get some shades of white in there, because when you do that, it brings a different kind of pink in there or different kind of orange in there and makes it look a little nicer, as if we gave one more shade over there. All right. Okay, yep, there you go, all done. And that is, your artwork is ready. And if you want to export it, you can click on this share, publish and export. You can export as and give a name in here and click on export, and you can share it to any device that you want. And you can also watch a time-lapse video by clicking on this share and preview time-lapse, and it's going to show you exactly what all you did. And yep, you can share that video as well by sharing, publish and export, and time-lapse export. You can export that here. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you want to support this channel, you can always buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com. You can watch my new Fresco class about drawing awesome clouds in Skillshare. I have a 1-month free Skillshare option for you guys if you want to go check it out. The link is in the description box below. If you create something using my tutorials, don't forget to share it on your socials. I am Print Me Some Color on both Instagram and TikTok. I would love to take a look at what you guys create. All right, then I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.